What is the real shape of the Earth? Is it flat or round? And what about the universe? Let's watch this video and get the answers for these questions. Even if it seems incredible, there are many people in the world who still believe that the Earth is flat. They are called flat earthers. On this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why Earth is flat for these people.
Welcome to the 21st century. The Earth isn't round anymore because it never was, because it's flat.
For them, the Earth is as if it were a large coin, like a kind of disc with the North Pole in the center. Antarctica isn't the South Pole, but it's the outer wall of the Earth. It's about 45 meters high and contains all the water in the oceans. As for the Sun and the Moon, they are smaller than we were led to believe and orbiting the disk at a much smaller distance, with some variations in the year, which will explain the seasons. For them, Antarctica is very different from what they tell us, and they assure that it will be a highly militarized place that we can reach. This is why they destroyed the Antarctic Treaty signed in 1959 by 12 original members, although currently they are 53. Both the United States and Russia are among the founding members. That these two countries had agreed on something that catches the attention of the flat earthers. They also speak of ambiguous statement by a US military man who has made several expeditions to both poles in the 20th century.
Today, an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole. I think it's quite astonishing.
These flat earthers maintain that gravity is an invention because we don't perceive the movements on the Earth. For some, the disk is constantly accelerating upwards, so we feel the attractions towards the ground.
Gravity's never been proven. It's a vain religious superstition to put you on a globe. It was an idea that was sold to you by the heliocentric priesthood. Okay, they got you by the balls with the gravity.
Others simply say that the Earth is independent and all. They also suggest that the disk is covered by a kind of bald quiet similar to the movie The Truman Show. And behind all this, the NASA will find a great conspiracy because if the Earth is a planet, then it's a flat. The flat earthers analyzed the flight routes and argued that the busiest routes are those of the northern hemisphere because they are closest. They argued that between the South America and Africa there are very few flights, taking into account that in a spherical land they will be closer. The flat earthers find a new meaning to the rainbow. For them, it isn't the optical and meteorological phenomenon that we know, but rather a reflection of the ball that covered us.
There is a mirror when you are outside to create the rainbow, and that mirror is the dome.
Likewise, the sun isn't the only source of light, since the light of the Earth will also be reflected in space.
It's not real. It is not fucking real. Australia does not exist.
In fact, the country doesn't exist on its flat mat. To complete it, they saw that everyone who claims to be Australian are actually actors, and those who claim to have traveled to Australia didn't, but took them somewhere in South America.
Why we know the Earth is round? All the other planets and stars we have ever seen are round, and there is no reason to indicate that the Earth should be any different. 2. Time zones. Day and night happen at different times, at different places on Earth. In fact, it is always day somewhere and night somewhere else. 3. The colorist effect means freely moving things like cannonballs or hurricane winds are deflected to the right, but only if you are north of the equator. If you are south of the equator, they are deflected left. 4. Triangles. If you walk 10,000 kilometers straight along the Earth's surface, turn 90 degrees to your right, walk 10,000 kilometers more, turn right again and walk another 10,000 kilometers, you will be back to where you started, having successfully made a triangle with 3 90 angles. As any geography student can tell you, this is impossible on a flat surface. 5. Pick 2 places a few hundred miles directly north and south of each other and at noon. Measure the shadow cast with a vertical meter stick at each location. 6. You can use the shadow legs to figure out the angle between the sticks, and once you add in how far apart they are, you can calculate the Earth's curvature. 7. The stars at night change as you go north or south. For example, Orion is upside down if you are in Australia. 8. The horizon shifts on the ocean, or tall Chicago buildings viewed over Lake Michigan disappear bottom first. Also, you can see the sunset twice if you watch it lying down and then quickly stand up. The simple fact is, if the Earth were flat, there would not be a horizon beyond which things could disappear, so you will be able to see all of Chicago from across Lake Michigan, as well as the Rocky Mountains. 9. During a lunar eclipse, the shadow of the Earth on the Moon is curved. And finally, 10. We know the Earth is round because photographs taken from space show us that the planet Earth is round.
What's the shape of the universe? We know that the universe is expanding, but where? Is it a sphere that grows toward nothing, or does it have another form? Imagine that you are standing on a two-dimensional surface and around you there are some objects and they are away from you, but they are fixed to the ground. How can they move away? The only conclusion is the surface. Your two-dimensional universe is expanding, but where? Where are things going? After a lot of running and not finding any edge of the universe, something even more curious happens. You arrive at the same place. How can that be explained? Okay. Your universe is a two-dimensional surface, but curved in a third dimension, in this case, a sphere. If you consider only the two dimensions of the surface, asking where it expands makes no sense.
More than critical mass, so enough to stop its expansion, it will have a positive curvature. In this scenario, the universe is closed and looks like a sphere. It would be finite but without a beginning or end. Eventually, the mass will cause the universe to collapse back in on itself.
The two-dimensional universe expands neither along nor across, but into a third dimension. One of the main objectives is to understand the physical process of the formation of galaxies, as well as the dynamic evolution of the universe. What we don't know on a large scale, the universe is homogeneous and isotropic, so that an average its characteristics are the same in any direction.
If on the other extreme the universe has insufficient mass to stop its expansion, it will have no bounds and expand forever in an open shape, sort of like a saddle. So which is it? Well, current cosmological observations say the universe should expand forever, so the positive curvature is likely. But it also doesn't seem to have the right conditions for negative curvature.
This is called the cosmological principle and has a great implication. The four dimensions. The measurement seems to corroborate the idea that our universe is flat. Then, can you read the edge? Everything indicates that it's flat, and the structure could be curved. You got it?
The simplest shape to get your head around is the flat universe, which isn't flat like a two-dimensional piece of paper, it's flat because it has no curvature. This is the shape the universe would take if it has the exact amount of mass to stop the universe expanding after an infinite time. It will have no bounds and expand forever, slowing but never stopping.
For example, if you take a sheet of flat paper and take two of its opposite sides together, you will form a tube. If you walk in one direction, you will return to the starting point. And if you somehow manage to bring together two other two ends, you will have a donut. That donut is known as toroid theory. A toroid theory has three-dimensional universe curved into a four-dimensional spatial. Now imagine you, who live within the universe, you will still look at flat. If you were to move forward on a long time and quickly in one direction, you will return to a starting point, just like Pac-Man. That way have a limited universe but no edge. According to the toroid theory, the universe expands and contracts at the same time, only that we live in the part of the universe that is expanding. To the date, we don't know what shape the universe has. The discussion goes and goes.